Alright, here we go. Video 2. So, as you may know, I just moved down to Richmond, as I told you in the, video at the beginning. It's been pretty good. The problem with moving is it's very challenging because you're starting over. And so I moved down here, and it's been challenging. And I was thinking, I was like, how can I make some new friends? And I've never had, like people go away to college and they try to make new friends and stuff, but everybody's, oh yeah, I'm looking for friends too. But when you move down, you're not in college. Not everybody is like, oh hey, I'm looking. You want to be friends? Let's be friends. You got to go out there to search for them. And I was thinking, I was like, shouldn't there be like an app for friends? And I was like, isn't that what the fuck Tinder was? Wasn't Tinder an app intended for like friends and it just became like a fuck app? Like, oh, I want to be friends with your penis. Like, what the fuck, man? I was like, what the hell? But I found something called Meet Up, which is pretty cool. So, like, there's like freaking board games and shit on there and flag football, which is pretty sweet. But, like, some of them are crazy. Like, this one's like, we need you to have a mugshot picture and you need to check our webpage every 6 months or you're banned. And I was like, alright, like, I can understand checking the webpage, but, like, the mugshot picture, I'm confused. I guess safety precautions, but sound a little harsh, hardcore. But there's like board game nights and stuff like that, and like I'm looking at the people that are in these clubs, and they're like adults, like adults. Like I'm an adult, but I'm like a young adult. These people are like 30s, 40s, which is like fine. I mean, I don't really care. I'm down to play games, but I just thought it was really interesting. I was like, what the heck? So I met, matchup, which is pretty cool, and it's pretty nice. But it's a struggle, when you come down here and you're looking to make friends, and it's not like it's freaking hard, man. It hits you hard, Sometimes you fall and you fall hard, but you just gotta remember, it's important to remember that through time, and every opportunity that you can that's presented your way to take it and go with it, and see if you can. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But it's like, you don't want to be like, oh man, I wish I did that because then this could happen, You should have just been like, oh, I did this, hoping this would happen, didn't, but I'm still glad, I did it. And it gets like good stories. Like, I went out with my roommates one time and we went to his band and it was like, okay. Like, the band was good. They just signed a deal, but the band before them was like, it was rough. It was rough. I'm sitting there and I'm like, does anybody hear what they're saying? And then literally after I thought that, my roommate leans over and says, hey, do you hear what the hell he's saying? And I'm like, no, I don't. I was just thinking that to myself. But like, it was like awkward, I guess you would say, but it was cool. Like, it was a funny freaking memory, and which is good. Like, I'm glad I did it. It's just a bunch of things like that. When you're down in Richmond, it's a lot of different kinds of people. You got the hippies, you got students, and you got like the gangsters and stuff, and you got like the parents. And there's like $1 million houses. Like right now, I'm living north area, but I want to live in the fan, and the fan's got like some $1 million houses. Like, I was walking down the street one time after I just parked my car, and this Porsche just like out of nowhere just fucking does a burnout, turns around, fucking drifting through this light, backs it in against the curb, parks it, and then the guy gets. I mean, I was like, does anybody see this amazing thing that just? I was freaking nuts, and then just walks in to his house, and I was like, man, that's a nice ass house. I looked it up, later, fucking $1.5 million house. I was like, well, that explains, the badass driving and the badass Porsche. I mean, duh. Well, I'm just signing on to, get that stuff flowing, get a rhythm going. Just coming on to talk and stuff, which is nice. I'm enjoying it. But that's about it. It was just like talking about friendship. I met this one group. It was like besties, and like this girl was like, I don't know, it's this main girl that's part of it, and they're asking these questions, and it was like she's a black girl, and all of it was like the questions that were being asked. I was like, are you like trying to figure out if I'm down and stuff? I was like, I'm confused. Like, why do you? I don't know. It was weird, but leading on to another thing, when I first came down here, there's a lot of African Americans down in Richmond. Like, the majority I work with are African Americans. It's just like fine. I get along with them. Like, especially like African American like females, like the big, older females love me, love my eyes, man. I get them all the time. Like I had this one girl who comes in, she's like, "Hey, handsome." I was like, "How you doing? How you doing?" Loving my eyes. But the first question I got asked was, "Do I swirl?" And I don't know if you guys have been asked this, but I was like, "What the fuck does swirl mean?" Like, I don't like what? What do you mean by swirl? I'm trying to figure out what the hell she's talking about. Like, I don't know what you're saying. Like, do I spin around at some point? Like, I'm confused. Do I drift? I don't know. I could not figure it out. Apparently, swirl, which makes sense after she told me, is like, I'm white. Do I get with the black woman? And it kind of makes that half chocolate, half vanilla little ice cream cone that you can get like Costco and stuff. But I didn't know. I was like, the fuck are you talking about? And then I realized I was like, oh no, I don't swirl. Not right now. But like, the more I'm down here, the more exposure I get, to African American females. And the more exposure you get, the more attractive they become. You just get used to it and stuff. It's just like, understandable. But when I lived in Loudoun County, we didn't it wasn't like how it is down here in Richmond. It wasn't like the majority was African Americans. And so I told my brothers, like, I'm not gonna lie, like, I'm exposed to a lot more African American females and they're looking good. There's some attractive ones down here. But that's about it, to be honest. I'm gonna sign off now. Be on in a little bit. Thanks for listening to whoever's listening.